New versus old vacuum modulators. So I have in my hand a vacuum modulator from a 722.3 or .4 transmission. Now this is a black modulator. It would be used, for example, in a late 190E. And I have here the late replacement version green modulator. This would be used in a 300D turbo or a 300SD or an early 190E. And today we're going to talk about how these things fail, how to know that they're failing, how to determine whether you might have a problem with them. So the genesis of vacuum modulator problems usually starts with either a vacuum leak or phantom transmission fluid loss. And this only applies to Mercedes automatic transmissions. So if you have a manual, you don't have to watch this, I guess. The majority of Mercedes brought to the United States after 1980 used the 722.3 or .4 automatic transmission. And this is a pretty good transmission. Diagnosis is pretty straightforward. Parts are not necessarily cheap, but they last a lot longer than a typical 350 Chevrolet automatic or that thing that used a bunch of rubber bands that they used in the Ford Taurus. Anyway, what happens with these guys is that there's a diaphragm in here, and the diaphragm ruptures just because of heat and age and constantly having 20 inches of vacuum applied to it. And what can happen when the diaphragm ruptures is through this part, which sits inside the transmission, the modulator will start slowly drawing transmission fluid into the engine. This is a pretty funny thing because you'll actually find maybe the car will smoke a bit, or maybe like if you have a gasoline car, you might find that the two spark plugs 4 and 8 at the back of the engine are fouled. Or if you have a 4 or 6 cylinder car, you'll find that the two plugs that are adjacent to cylinders 5 and 6 might be fouling. And sometimes you might pull a vacuum on it and it'll still hold vacuum because fluid sort of makes a seal. It makes a very convincing seal. But you might start to see transmission fluid in the clear line, and that's what I emphasize looking for. Now, this becomes a culprit if you absolutely cannot see a transmission leak under the car. If you could see a transmission leak under the car, then fix that first. But this becomes the culprit if you can't see anything at all. Now we're going to talk about another symptom associated with a part that is part of the vacuum modulator assembly. This guy right here is a push pin that for the most part acts on the modulator and sort of moderates the fluid pressure throughout the valve body. And if this pin breaks, you're going to get some very strange symptoms. So these symptoms include rough downshift. They could include flaring, especially if the thing disintegrates. I remember we had a 300D one time. It had very, very early upshifts and downshifts. It flared like crazy, and it's because this piston was broken. Also, if you're changing this and debris gets into the valve body, then it can block a critical fluid artery. My friend Dave learned about this years ago when he was doing a modulator on his 230 CE, and it'll keep the car from even going into gear. So keep that in mind, okay? It wouldn't cause an outright transmission failure. It would cause an issue with the valve body getting blocked and actually blocking the command valve that tells the car to go and drive or the forward gears. Now, these style modulators are replaced with these style modulators, and these guys, you know, this guy wears like a little rubber cap you pop off and you turn the thing inside and out. But this modulator is a little different. Has a different piston right here that's less failure prone, and it has a different style of adjuster. And what we find is that this adjuster, which let's say it goes in here, has a little dial indicator cap, and you can actually push the little indicator on See, people think once these things are on, they're on for good, but that's not true. You push them on, let's say you're staring at the car, you push them on at about 6:30, and if you get it on properly, you can adjust the modulator back a few degrees to about 2 o'clock. But these were designed to give you a range of adjustment without having to pull the cap off. And they're less leakage prone. But just so you know, you crank this all the way to about 6:30 where it stops, forward, and then you can pop the little cap off and adjust it some more. Now people, I saved the most important part of this video for last. So if you haven't done so, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, because this is the only place you're going to get a live tutorial about this information. But people often ask me how to adjust Mercedes vacuum modulators. This adjustment applies to all vacuum modulators. So this little thing in the middle, this little adjusting part that's like square shaped, it's kind of hard to see. If you turn this in, you will make your shifting firmer. That means if the transmission is flaring, it's revving between gears, you can try turning this in and it will abrogate the flare. May not resolve it completely, but if you have a 250,000 mile car with an otherwise decent gearbox, maybe, just maybe, you can actually get rid of some of the flaring so the car is nicer to drive. And it'll probably be that way for another 100,000 miles or so. I've seen a lot of 300Ds that have come in here and benefited from like one turn in, and you know, if I'm trying to get rid of a flare, I go in increments of about one turn. Now, if you have a car that's shifting too hard, you can back it out and it'll soften the shift. But there have to be 3 parameters met. First of all, you need to have enough transmission fluid. That's a given under any adjustment. Before you make any adjustment, you've got to check your fluid level. 2, you've got to have enough vacuum. You should have 7 to 9 inches on a 300D turbo. Probably a little bit more than that on a gasoline engine car. And then last but not least, you need to make sure that the modulator is not leaking internally, like leaking down. So a modulator that is leaking down internally may have rough shifts, particularly when it's cold. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if it's helpful. And we'll catch you in the next video. And if you have a friend that has an interest in classic Mercedes, be sure to share this channel with them. And before you spend $2,500 to $3,000 on a transmission, think about modulator adjustments if the car's not shifting quite like it's supposed to.